see our youngest scholars here at the David N.Dinkins School for Community Service talk about their learning in regards to the Black Studies curriculum. The Black Studies crawl. The crawl is the idea of going to each classroom from other students, from upper grades coming down to today, as you saw, coming down to the lower grade classrooms to learn about what they are learning in their classroom.
My name is Miss Mitchell, and I'm one of the pre-K teachers here at PS 48 Queens. Today's event is celebrating Black history, so we have been studying units from our Black history curriculum, and our class today, they are representing two unsung heroes that haven't gotten a lot of recognition, so we wanted to present them today. So one student is Ronald McNair, which is an astronaut, and the other student is Patricia Bath, who's an ophthalmologist who wanted to help poor people get better eye care.
Let's go. One more time.
My name is Annette Cook. This month we're studying the African American story, right? So we're doing African American crawl. So kindergarten, the entire kindergarten, we're doing the Harlem Renaissance. So we're showing the students that the Harlem Renaissance began as a new era where the slaves were escaping from Jim Crow and coming to New York, and that their lives were influenced by passion, by fashion from Paris, music, and they were dancing. So the song you saw was about the Cotton Club when the slaves were free, and they decided to build a space for themselves where music gave them that freedom to express themselves and just to be part of the culture in New York.
This is phenomenal. I'm part of the group, the EEAPC, that developed and curated this Black Studies curriculum. To see it live and in action is validating, and it fulfills me so much because this is what the work is about, having impact with our children. So I want to shout out to the EEAPC, Black Influencers United BU, and all the organizations that came together to bring this historic Black Studies curriculum to New York City Public Schools. Amazing.
Melanie Beswick. So it was very exciting. We did a performance about life long ago in different African societies and now how life has changed today. Some similar, some different.
Here we have our lead teachers who were part of the pilot last year as we introduced the Black Studies curriculum to our school, and we have just evolved because of these ladies. Amazing in regards to how the crawl came about. The work of discussing, looking at the actual curriculum, talking with teacher inquiry teams.
So it really, we started the Black History Crawl because during the holidays, well really, I went away to Vegas and we did a pool party crawl, and that's where you go from one hotel to another to swim. I'm like, ooh, this would be fun as a cookie crawl. So we had like a holiday cookie crawl. And then it was so crazy because at the end of that day, Miss Duvernay ran in our room and we both said Black Studies crawl at the same time. So we just took whatever we knew about the Black Studies and we just parlayed it into the crawl.
So I feel like it was just, to have the crawl was very impactful, seeing as though every grade doesn't get to see what each other is doing. So therefore, since we're all learning all great things about Black culture, it would be nice if the kids can actually display the work that they have done.
Frederick Douglass, he was a slave, but his first job as a slave, he was working for Hugh Auld, and Hugh Auld's wife taught him how to read and write. He taught other slaves that he was working with to read and write, and then a couple years later, when he was like 15 or 17, he escaped from slavery with like a janitor's coat. W.E.B. Du Bois, he was the first person in his family to go to high school, and he even went to Harvard and got a college degree. And he also got his doctorate. When he graduated from high school, he was the valedictorian.
They all believed in education, and they believed that it was the key of success.
The Tuskegee Airmen were the first ever Black American fighter pilot. They fought in World War II. Long ago, the Tuskegee Airmen were racially segregated.
The Tuskegee Airmen were so victorious that they awarded many military medals, such as the Purple Heart, Distinguished Flying Crosses.
I'm Miss Penfield, and this is Miss Marriott. We're the teachers of class 402 at PS 48.
The ICT classroom.
And where's Miss Felix? Miss Felix, say hello.
Hello.
So what we're working on, part of the Black Studies curriculum was Black New Yorkers and the Empire State of Mind. The cause and effect of the migration, the Great Migration, thank you. How they came here, and then what happened afterwards, the implications or the cause and effect. Like, so everybody came, and then what? That's what we want to know.
Empire means a kingdom or your control of something. New York became the Empire State because George Washington wrote a letter to James Duane saying that he thanked the people for winning the Revolutionary War, and he was the first person to compare New York to an empire.
I also want to make the connection between the Great Migration and Black immigrants, because if you look at the 70s, right, when blacks were still migrating into New York, you had Black immigrants coming into New York. And as a result, something very special happened. And I hear the music in the background, but that's part of the reason why hip hop began.
Tap dance started by African people and Irish people leaving from where they were and coming together in a space where they could stay safe. And it started by African people dancing with Irish people, and then they put their dances together, and that's how tap was created.
Black studies must be taught now. It's because this world is in a state where we need to understand ourselves, have a love for ourselves, understand ourselves so that we can make a change. Because when we know ourselves and we have a strong identity of who we are, then there's nothing that we can't achieve. There is no fear. We're not afraid.